Howdy, from Hazard Reviews here, ready for today's review. So, when I first heard of Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, I was like, back out of nowhere, because until about, I'd say, I think it wasn't until it was announced in April, I thought the only Dreamworks movie we'd gain this year would be the third Trolls movie, which, just so you know, I'm not going to see. No way am I going to see that. Jeez, I haven't even seen the first two. But, yeah. Now, I didn't know much about this, like a lot of people didn't when they first heard about it. Other than it will be set in the sea. It's going to be directed by Kirk Tomiko, who previously directed films like Vivo, The First Crudes, and the first Space Chimps, which I have which I have seen. But I haven't seen Vivo yet, even though I am aiming to at some point. But I've seen the other two, and I thought, yeah, The Crudes is a good movie, and Space Chimps is stupid, but. At least it's not nothing like that sequel. I'm not gonna talk about that again. But yeah. But this I didn't know what to expect. So when the reviews came out, I mean, it's when it was released, it obviously it's been considered a bomb. So yeah, there is that. The reviews have been very disappointing. A lot of comparisons have been made to the likes of Pixar's Turning Red and Brave, and obviously Disney's The Little Mermaid. So yeah, but what do I think? Honestly, I agree with the review, the rank, the percentage on Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like it's just, but I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as what a lot of people are saying it to be. I mean, but I will say this: the plot is what you can expect. As I said, it's basically Turning Red and Brave, just with more of a water setting, a sea setting. A young teenage girl named Ruby Gillman is an awkward teen who lives, in a a town basically sit near the sea with her family, who are all krakens, or sea monsters, I should say. However, Ruby actually, while saving one of her crush, who actually she does know in this, so yeah, there is that. Um, Um, while saving him from drowning, discovers she has underwater soup discovers she has aquatic powers, which apparently is because she's from uh, royalty, sea royalty, basically. What you expect. She's basically a princess, as her grandmother is a queen, and her mother is also royalty too. The sign she needs to know for herself, and because she knows she can't trust her mother from telling her the truth. Yeah, we're getting there again. She dives into the sea and meets her grandmother, played by Jane Fonda. And while there, she learns a bit about the Kraken's history and how much and the duty they have of protecting people compared to the stories she hears about land. It's through her grandmother she learns that mermaids are considered evil, and her mother, before she left the throne, became stopped an evil mermaid queen from taking over the sea. So when she meets the mermaid queen's granddaughter, she daughter, I should say, actually, daughter. That's right. Um, Ruby decides that she wants to find out more about herself and also, help this mermaid girl, because she sort of sees similarities in her. And okay, yeah, okay. The plot is basically what you expect, and really, it's as I said, it's Brave and Turning Red, just under the sea. And there's a bit of the hints of Little Mermaid 2 a bit as well. Little Mermaid, yeah, well, Little Mermaid 2, I should say. Yeah, there's a lot of similarities actually with stuff I've seen. In fact, to pull them, not a big fan of. I should go over and say this. When it comes to this plot, as I said, this is similar to the likes of Turning Red, Brave, and The Little Mermaid 2. Um, uh, as you know, I've already reviewed Little Mermaid 2, so you can see my thoughts on that, for why I have issues with it and why, yeah, with that, yeah. Brave. it has gotten worse the more I think about it, but I think part of the reason is also due to the fact it won the Oscar that year, and I wasn't happy with that, and I'm sure a lot of people weren't happy with that as to why it got won the Oscar for that year. But even then, it's still very problematic, and again, I think there's an easier way to fix it. I mean, if they're going to have the brother bear angle, and it's like appreciate if Merida became a bear as well, something like that. I don't know. And Turning Red, the ending is fantastic. It's a great. The ending to Turning Red is great, but the rest of it is very formulaic. But I understand why people have an attachment to that film, so I'm not gonna argue with it. But for me, until the ending is fantastic, the rest of the film, I mean, third act's amazing. The rest of it is eh, formulaic, and this is definitely formulaic as well because it borrows everything from it. The main story of those three films. And the twist of the villain, I think you can basically see where it's coming from. And I guess it's also disappointing with this villain is that just because last year with Dreamworks' movies, I mean, the villains of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish were all fantastic. I love them all. I mean, the wolf was the main one, but Goldilocks and the Three Bears Crime Family and Big Jack Horner were also great too. And the villain in The Bad Guys, well, yeah, it was a twist villain and lame in the twist and everything, but at the very least, it was still enjoyable to watch. And and everything like he had some real funny lines. But yeah, with this villain, I don't know. If they want to make this film more different, they would probably maybe not have a villain or something like that, or something. There's a bit of an extra twist to it. I don't know. I just think if mermaids have all that power and everything, is what they say. I think there could have been more of a surprise here and there, especially when um, Ruby's grandmother explains the backstory of how her mother killed the Mermaid Queen, stopped the Mermaid Queen in the past. That I just feel like there could have been something extra with that, you know. Now, like with that said, eh, those are the obvious issues and everything. Oh, another issue I want to give is the side characters. They're just there, you know. That you don't really get any time with them. I mean, there's a bit with Ruby's father, little brother, and her strange and her absent uncle, but that's really about it. I mean, we learn a bit of backstory when Ruby first transforms about a whale she rescues in the past, and she sees that whale when she finally goes to meet her grandmother. But you never see that whale again. Really? That was your payoff for that? That's stupid. I mean, okay, the sea captain's trying to Ruby and the Krakens is funny, and I did get a lot of, and he was all right. But everyone else, especially everyone who was in our school and all that, I didn't really care, or people that her mother's trying to make a deal with, I didn't really care. You know, they're, they're just cutouts. I didn't think they were anything. But let's go over what I think are some good things now. I think the animation is really good. I think, well, not on the same scale as the other ones, I think, as DreamWorks' movies from last year when it comes to animation. I do enjoy it. It's got a bit of a 2D-esque look to it, but it's also, got that standard 3D stuff. So they mesh it well. In fact, it reminded me a lot of Hotel Transylvania, some of the movements and everything. That looked pretty good. In fact, the character designs themselves are pretty good, especially of the Krakens. They look fine. The voice acting, in my view, is probably one of the best things. Jane Fonda, I liked all the actors, but the two in particular, Jane Fonda was great as the grandmother. I really enjoyed her in this, and Toni Collette as the mother. I mean, looking at other films when it comes, as I said, well, the character itself is basically the same. The mother character is basically the same as those three Disney and Pixar films. I don't know why. I think Toni Collette actually did a really good job with voicing her. Like, I didn't really care too much, and that's a bit of a praise because when with Emma Thompson in Brave and Michelle Yeoh in Turning Red, I wasn't really a big fan. I just couldn't look past it. But with Toni Collette, for some weird reason, I actually could. I enjoyed her more than I did. Okay, Michelle Yeoh was still good, I will admit, but I kind of like Tony Collette. Tony Collette is better in this, playing a mother in Ruby Gillman, than Emma Thompson was playing the mother in Brave. Just saying. The climax is pretty good. Yeah, it was a really good climax and use of colors and all that. And I guess I gotta give credit to DreamWorks again for breaking their traditional humor tropes. We already saw a bit of that in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, even though there is still an essence of it with with some Shrek jokes in there. But it was still still had some original concepts, original jokes that you don't see for DreamWorks movies. But I will give credit. This film got a bit further a step back. I mean, from some of their regular jokes. In fact, I'm trying to figure out if there was any. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what traditional, if there were any traditional DreamWorks jokes. But I didn't. I thought it was pretty good. You know. So yeah. But with that said, is this perfect? No. I don't think it's as bad as what everyone says it is. I liked I liked it enough. As I said, I like the animation, I like the voice acting, I like the climax, I liked Ruby as a character in general. But, but as I said, it's still the same plot you basically get from these sorts of films. And the villain is, yeah, and I would have liked more from the side characters. But I will give Ruby Gillman a little bit more praise than what a lot of other people are giving it. It's not much. I say it's good, but I do think it deserves to score its game on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a 60%. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10 hash stars. Not the best, not the worst. Take for what it's worth. I liked it enough, but no. I'm not sure if other people will say this is better than the likes of Brave and Turning Red, but hey, this is definitely better than Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea. That's what I'm saying. So, what's next? I'm not sure what I'm going to review next, actually. You're just gonna have to wait and see. I'm taking, I'm gonna use, I'm gonna think it over for a while before I figure out what my next review will be. It might actually be video games, actually, or maybe I might look through some of my books and see if I want to do something. So I just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, Hazard from Hazard Reviews is out, and I shall see you for my next video. Ciao!